History in the making. I learned a little while ago that there was a saying that life is our gift to us, and how we live our life is our gift to God. So when I heard that, I didn't really understand it initially, but I began to think on it and ponder on it and what try to get a better understanding of what that's supposed to mean. And what it means is that the work that we do, we're supposed to give our absolute best in every aspect, in every area. I look at some of the greats, if you will, one of the greatest basketball coaches of all time, John Wooden, won 11 national championships with UCLA Bruins, and seven of them were in a row because he got out of his own way and he instilled a culture of excellence and a standard of excellence in his organization. Gino Oriami, the head coach for the UConn's women's basketball team, did the exact same team, and they even got to the point where they won 100 plus consecutive games in a row. So when they have the culture and they have the standard of excellence of this is what I'm going to stand for and represent, there's nothing that can stand in their way. If you even go back a little bit further, people like Epictetus, Seneca, Goethe, Socrates, Copernicus, Apollo, we know their names today because of what they did in their time. And they didn't look at it as, oh, I'm this great philosopher, or I'm this great stoic, or I'm this great thinker of my time. They were simply consumed with working, producing, and improving. And that's what I've been learning from reading The Ego is the Enemy. Working or practicing, working, improving. That's the formula for greatness. And I look at it at my own right. I was like, how do I get better? How do I improve? How do I measure or change the quality of my life or the standard of living? And I know one of the big things is doing the work. And a lot of people out there at this point in time say, you got to get up early, you got to make it happen. Yeah, I know that's a part of it. But I'm not up every day at 6 a.m., 5 a.m., even some of these people who are up at 4 a.m. I get up sometimes at 8, 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I get out here and I try to crush it until I have to go to work, until I have to be at the next place that I do not have a choice at this point. And I bring this up behind me because this is the Tennessee State Museum. And I find it interesting, just for me personally, I find it interesting that my hometown touches 9 different states. And one thing I was taught as I was growing up was about numerology and the power of numbers. Numbers have meaning. Um, a fact about the number 9 is that there are 9 gifts of the Spirit. And it was also stated to me that 9 is also the number of supernatural power. So I thought it was pretty unique that my hometown and my state touches 9 different states. There's no other state on the map that does that, that has that. So I thought that was pretty important. But as you look at different things and having that standard and that culture and that environment of excellence, and we hold the bar this high, we do things a certain way for a reason, not because we want to, but because we have to, and we need to maintain that in order to get to our destination. I go back and I'll give you an engineering principle. In engineering, there are this thing called the integrity of the structure, where if you have a part, just one little part, it could be a bracket on a wing that is 45 feet long. But if you have one bracket that's out of the compliance, that has to be scrapped because it compromises the entire integrity of the whole structure. So when you look at your life, that this is what I heard, you inspect what you expect. So if you have one area where like I don't hit my workouts all the time, or I'm not saving as much as I want to, or I'm not reading as much as I'm likely to, or I'm not meeting or prospecting or calling as much as I need to, then that takes you out of compliance with what you truly say you want to have or you want to do. So when we look at the greats like Apollo, like Socrates, and the work that they did, they held a standard for the work that they make sure that they exacted each and every day. So I look at my hometown and I look at what I'm wanting to represent, what I'm wanting to accomplish, what I'm wanting to do, and I hold myself to a standard every day. And right now, it's just me. There are no other people on my team, if you will, that actually do the exact same things that I do, but I make sure I do it. So when that they come behind me, they see this is who he was, this is what he did, this is what he stood for, so that there's no debate. So 100 years from now, We are all going to be gone. Everybody here is going to be in a box or in an urn somewhere. Just take solace in that. So when they look back and they look at the highlight tape and the review film of what you did, of what you said, of what you represented, what's going to be said about you?